Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. Uh, I practice maybe what might be called numeralism, let's say. And that's a very significant day. Uh, just to let people know, a portal was opened on, when was that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just have to do this quick calculation to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yes, portal opened on 2/20/25. That was Thursday. And this will be a 6 day portal. Quite significant, mind you, as you can see by the events transpiring in the U.S. It's quite remarkable what's happening right now. But this portal will end, of course, on Tuesday, which is February 25th, 2025. So that's 2/25/25 that the portal will end. And I've been prompted to come on here and share my thoughts with you all. I hope you're all doing well. It's important for us all to personally take accountability for what what transpires in each of our own lives. And we're seeing an interesting phenomenon because I'll be quite honest with you. It really comes down to you. When it comes to driving to your own goals and destiny, it's all about you. I mean, that's great if you have somebody who inspires you, or an entity, or a thought, or some kind of figure, whomever, whatever it may be, but it's really up to us. We create our own reality. Not only do we create our own reality, but out of that reality which we create our own destinies. And I must say that I've studied the neurophysiology of how how the human brain functions, and how it's really we're not necessarily interacting per se with the environment around us. It's a synaptical mirror, and the mirror that is represented comes out of our own consciousness. But despite that all, I would like to say that quite a bit of things are cooking up in America. I'm speaking specifically about America. It's the country that I live in, and it's the one I have the best familiarity with. And unavoidably, this entails talking about the new Trump administration and what's transpiring. How long has this been? A month in, and there's just a lot of crazy going on, and basically, it's to be honest, it's being perpetrated by the current Trump administration. And I really felt behooved to say this, so I'm not going to mince it. And I not only address this to you, Donald Trump, but as well to your intimate colleague, Elon Musk, who, I understand that, you're running from a clown town agenda, and the agenda is not fitting. And the reason why it's not fitting is our planet's ascending. And I recommend to everybody to ascend with our great mother, because there's going to be a lot left in the wake. And I will say this right now, that two people that are going to be left in the wake are, yes, you, current President Donald Trump, and yes, you, tech, whatever, magnet, you, Elon Musk. You're not going to make it. I mean, your agenda is so far out of touch. I have to say this, as American citizens, I hope everybody can pat themselves on the back for being an American. And I'm not talking about the bad guys, whoever they are. There are some bad guys, though. And there's a lot of people wearing masks and everything else. But for the, average American person, whoever or whatever that is, please give yourself some credit. I mentioned this in other possible broadcasts, but socioeconomist John Kenneth Galbraith put it best. He said, "As goes America, so goes the world." And I will say this, I want to give a shout out to Robert De Niro. I've had sort of mixed feelings about that individual, but they're not that mixed much more, because that individual's standing up and calling out a bully. And yes, Donald, he's the one, you're the one he's calling out. And so I give my kudos to Robert De Niro. And I feel a lot of people most likely feel this way. And, this is an individual, speaking of Robert De Niro, who might have a very deeper sense of what's going on. I mean, this person's been involved in his industry for decades upon decades. And the way he speaks, I saw a YouTube broadcast or whatever channel video about Robert De Niro stepping forth and kind of taking on this Trump phenomenon. And I was quite moved by it. And I said this before, we've all been through a lot, but it's time we start stepping up individually. I'm not saying stepping up as a political party or economic summit. I mean, there's a lot of things groups to step into, but I'm talking about the individual. And not to get too woo-woo, but, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, they were individualists and transcendentalists, and they had a good grip on what it is to own your own soul and navigate your physical body in this journey we're all sharing. And I do want to make that point too, now that I just kind of brought that up. We're all sharing this world together. I mean, obviously, it's clear some people are playing special roles, but let's look at those as catalysts, galvanizers. I don't know, I saw another quick before I knew I had to make this video, and I had to do it very soon, but right before I was getting the camera set up, I saw on YouTube a program, or whatever you want to call it, on there, just the headlines. I did tap on it to save it, but $4.7 trillion is missing from either I believe it's from Fort Knox. I mean, what the heck, bro? I mean, this is these are some things you never quite, I don't quite recall scandal like that. Irregardless, there have been many scandals, and I'm not trying to downplay the whole scenario, scandals that have led us to where we are, but I gotta say this, the chains, believe it or not, are breaking, and it's, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do individually? I'm talking about Americans. I consider myself an American. What are you gonna do when those chains break? Where are you gonna run? Are you gonna build your own freedom with it, or are you gonna saunter back into some other cage of entrapment? And just about that whole little Clown Town comment, it's interesting. I saw a movie decade ago, let's say, or not quite, close, and it depicted what was happening, and it's too much. Donald, your agenda's way off course, and Americans aren't going to swallow it, buddy. I don't know, whatever you did in Atlantic City, or however you finagled that, or your golf course in Mar-a-Lago, and your MAGA people, and the networks and news affiliates who pretty much spout your babbleisms. I don't want to totally paint a completely negative picture, but this is it. I do believe you're not going to make out your second presidency. Richard Nixon didn't carry out his I don't know if it was his first or final term in office. I believe that was his second term in office, Watergate. But y'all gonna be stepping down, but I just want to say this, in thoughts of the concept, or the term of God, God immanent and God manifest, we got to wake up and realize that we have God immanency within our souls, within our capacity. Now, maybe some people have spoiled that by perhaps, selling their birthrights for a mess of pottage. But, anybody can turn the ship around whenever they want to when it comes to how they're going to navigate and interact on the planet on a daily basis. And so I know there was a whole other reason why I came on here. But let's start standing up. Let's do it, bro. How long we gonna sit down in the mess, bro? You know, our country's being challenged and threatened and never has since, quite honestly, Roswell. And I ask for you, Americans. I know you probably don't believe many people think you have much authority to, as far as maybe how you feel about yourself. There's a lot of powers that be that don't like democratic institutions. I mean, let's say purely operative. Of course, the democracy has never been quite what it has been peddled out as, but irregardless, we live in a culture that has been raised on freedoms. Let's keep those freedoms. And the only way we're going to be able to maintain and build the real freedoms we need in our personal lives and our social structures and our government offices is to start stepping out of our own filters and our negative perceptions of ourselves and others. This is a bit bigger than we probably all can imagine. Yeah, and I did want to say this, Donald and Elon, Mr. Space Rocket X. The reason why I made the claim or call that you're not going to make it is because I'm well aware that, and I do have another topic after this and then that's it. I'm well aware how the secret space program is not going, and you know that that's a key factor in what you've been doing and how you've been wielding and why you've been wielding the power you wield. And just like any of that, the hydrocyclometer in Switzerland and all these black budget projects and UAPs, and we could go on and on and on. Those things aren't putting you in touch with nothing. And sure, the general Joe and Gene in our public are much more aware of stargates than we were 2 decades ago, but or 3, 4, a lot of decades ago actually. But secret space programs, I know what's happening in that, let's say, department, and it's not looking good for the Order of the Black Sun. So that's why I made the shot I'm calling. And Elon Musk, really, like a lot of other people have been saying, and I want to shout out to MSNBC. I really enjoy their programming. I do watch other news agencies, and I try to pick the ones I get a good feeling about watching, whatever side they might be presenting from. And last thing, the original reason why I wanted to come on before I started seeing all these videos on what's captured my attention for the first part of what I'm sharing right now, but I do want to, and I so apologize for this. Oh my God. Is to discuss NESARA, GESARA. Okay. Now, it's just like these Bitcoin nuts. You guys are a cult. And, as far as NESARA, GESARA, for even those who know what I'm talking about, no, it ain't gonna work, bro. You're not gonna liquidate all your crap into a shiny little Digicoin. Now, China's done it. To my understanding, all of China is operated under a Digicoin, governmental Digicoin. I think all the BRICS nations are planning to implement that, and given that they are BRICS nations, they're quite capable in transforming their economies and their revenues and finances into such a Digicoin, universal Digicoin, or state-operated Digicoin, quantum financial system. And that's what, NESARA GESARA is sort of tied to the quantum financial system, which will eventually be implemented. And that's just to really, rectify a lot of things till we get to the point where, wherever it is, the year 3000, there ain't gonna be no money. There ain't gonna be no reason to have money. Please understand this. If you're operating so deeply under scarcity consciousness, you gotta wake up. I really have to tell you that. We can't be operating under scarcity consciousness. Now, we all have our personal struggles with it. I do. Everyone probably does. So, and so anyway, yeah, NESARA GESARA, refluxing all the CRAP type economies, Wall Street supported economy that America represents as the feudal capitalistic country, kind of almost the last vestige of it in many respects. And it ain't gonna pan out, man. It's just not gonna pan out. It's too wild of a concoction, and the fact that you've been able to attach a cord into the world quantum financial system, that sounds good for you, but though I see those as two totally different things. And I know the reason why you want to push for your NESARA, your totally oblongated nature of NESARA GESARA, is because it's going under. It's going under. And to be honest, people like Mark Zuckerberg and all these little wizards of wherever, you ain't gonna funnel. If NESARA is really about rechanneling all of your economies into or your profits, let's say, into a more stable condition, sorry. I personally, I'll be honest, I personally don't really care to see Facebook in the year 2050. And to be quite honest, it ain't gonna make it, because it ain't even Facebook no more. It's Meta, but now it's not really Meta either. It's AI. I saw an interesting one that this real special team does on certain individuals, at how like naughty they are and what they do. And before I presenting this, I saw one on Mark Zuckerberg, and it was quite fascinating. I know him. I have FaceTimed with him, and I have a certain reckoning with Mr. Zuckerberg, and claiming my prize winnings, which I do plan to do that, but that's besides itself. Let's stand up. Let's look at the people around us just like us. Just like us. And if they're not on our team, do your best to keep them out of your life and progress. You know, our country's so unique. We were built. That's why so much has warred against us, and we warred against a lot, but we got a lot of good sound fundamentals, and we have a special ingredient in the ray makeup of our country. People don't understand that, and I'm not going to elucidate, but we're a unique fixture in this world, and our time hasn't shined yet. We haven't shined. Not according to the shine I see coming. So I hope everybody is enjoying this Sunday, and God bless you all. Take care.